Right, glue's gone off on that, nice and solid. Yep. Okay, so that cover frame is absolutely fine. Right, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, that's glued nicely. So he told you the paper would stick, but that'll sand off. Oh yeah. Can you see that all right? Flat as a pancake. Beautiful. So before I get too far with the sanding and stuff, I want to get some holes made. So that's the right size for my magnet. That's the right size for the original, really tight. So that will center this. So then I just build it up on the hole saw. That one in first, a spacer. That one in the back. So that one will center this one. So I had to freehand open up the recess. So I've used a really wide router bit, so I'm not digging in as much. Because I don't have any bits that I can run round on the inside here and open this up, which is a bit annoying. Well, I do, but not big enough, not wide enough, I should say. Plus we've got the ears here for the terminal, so that part would always be a bit freehand. I could reload like I did to open this up with another hole saw, but that'll give me a horrible edge. So this is about right. And then if you use a big round cutout and put your sandpaper on there, when you sand round like that, you'll create a nice radius. You won't just dig into it, and that works really well. Nice. So this is a dead one. Beautiful. So then what we'll do, I'll have to take a little bit out, but our clamps can go back over there and they just hide the screw hole. So yeah, I think that's going to be a nice touch. Right, so our tweeter is recessed in there nicely. I'm going to clamp that the same as the original was. These are just loosely fitted on here. I think I'm going to clamp the mid as well, because its bezel is slightly smaller than the original, and that makes use of the holes, and then I don't have to fill them and it won't look sort of out of place. If you remember something like the Ditton 66, the mid was clamped, so I think that's going to be quite nice. So what I want to make sure is our cover is still going to be okay. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yep. I'm liking that. can tell you now, there's a half decent speaker lurking in here. I'm quite surprised. So many of those marks, I mean that's the bottom. So many of those marks have come out. So I've gone at it fairly aggressively with 120 grit at the moment to get as many marks out as I can. When I filled it, it will get another sanding probably with 240 grit, and that will be its final sanding. But there's not a massive amount of filling to do on this one, which is going to be good, because obviously the filler is going to be not obvious, but it's going to be, you know, you will be able to find it. But I'm really happy with that, and very surprised. Yeah. Right, sorry this bit is all handheld wobbly cam, but I am surprised at how well these have come up. I really am. So let's go round this one. I think this is the worst one. So we'll look at this. The veneer on the side has come up really well. I have gone at it quite aggressively. Thankfully, I don't think they've been sanded before, so I have been able to pretty much get all the marks out, which is good. We've got a few corner knocks here, and obviously this to fill. The bottom corners I'm just going to feather out. I'm going to paint this back black, and I'll probably just let it overlap a bit, so when I sand it, that will be nice and clean. But I mean, the fronts aren't bad. That's the worst bit. That will fill quite well. But I'm surprised. Whilst there is sections that have gone through the veneer, by the time that's oiled, that's going to be pretty good. So we've got our cutout done for our new tweeter. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased, very surprised. I mean, these are going to look very tidy when they're finished. Again, on this side, all the marks have come out. They're going to get another sand at the end with something very fine, really just to flatten off the filler. The backs are going to get painted black. Tops were really bad, but actually they've come out pretty well. This one still has a few marks, but they're not going to come out. But again, when it's oiled, they're not going to be too noticeable. Yeah, very surprised. Very pleased as well. Right, I think I'm going to leave this video here. So we are now at a point where the cabinets have been sanded, and they now have filler on them, which I'm waiting to go off. And I didn't have to use a great amount of it, so I think it's going to be, it's not going to be invisible, but it's going to be quite discreet. That's the word I'm looking for. This was the worst bit up here, but I think that's going to be okay. But I'm pleasantly surprised, I really am. Let's have a look around the back. So I've got one miscoat of black paint on the back. Obviously I've got to sand these bits off. Where are we? Here and here, and then paint it again. I've just painted this bit that pulled off at the moment just to seal it up, whether I'll fill that or not. It's stable, it's fine, and there's a big piece of fiberboard behind it, so I might leave it as a war wound. But yeah, they're just coming up much better than I expected. Interesting pair of Celef speakers there. We'll have a look at those soon. Covers all repaired, coat of paint on them, so they're ready for cloth. So yeah, I think really once the cabinets are sanded, I'll probably get a coat of oil on them, and the cabinets are there. I think the cutouts are done for the tweeters, and I know what I'm doing with the mid-range and the woofer. So then it's crossover work, my favourite bit. Yay.